it is approved, then the work is done. Now, it seems that Section 154 is what provides for financing of contingencies, and that a fund must be created so that with that fund, even 1% of it can't be spent. But if it is discovered that something of unforeseen is to be expended, then a supplementary appropriation will be done under Section 154 rather than Section 153. I don't know whether I'm understood. So if that is the case, it means that what we must avoid and what we must stop is pre-financing. That pre-financing cannot really continue, and then you continue to try to use 153 for that pre-financing. It means that one must build a contingency fund, and that contingency fund can be utilized for those purposes, so under Section 154. That is really what I wish to convey. So in this regard, we must look at the issue properly, because we are convinced that education must be paid for, and it falls under the same arrears situation. So maybe when we go to the committee stage after your explanation, then as National Assembly members, we may have to take very difficult decisions and be consistent in making those decisions, so that we put this behind us and prevent recurrence.
Honourable Minister, you can use the podium for a response here.
Thank you very much, Honourable Speaker. No Honourable National Assembly member, no work has been done, nothing. These works that have already been done, certificated, was approved by the National Assembly. Nothing, zero. Nothing. These are part of the additional future work that will be coming, but no, zero.
That's why you should now articulate this in a different way, not these areas, okay, because it creates confusion.
All right, okay.
We'll take it up at the committee level, and then you articulate more on that. And maybe we'll see how we recouch that section. Okay. Honorable members, as we have concluded the debate on the supplementary estimates, we will proceed to the Committee of Supply to consider in detail. On that note, this Assembly now resolves into Committee of Supply of the whole House. Honorable members, the supplementary estimates 2021 will be considered head by head. Clerk, proceed, please.
Head 3, Judiciary. What's the difference anyway? Head 03, Judiciary. Okay.
It is proposed that Head 3, Judiciary, 03, stands part of the bid in the estimates, yes. In the supplementary estimates.
Point of observation, Honorable Chair.
No, wait, let it allow you to. Head 03, Judiciary, you know, 15 million that is stand part of the supplementary estimates.
I want to be clear. For example, if somebody has a suggestion for an amendment on the amount, how do we do? Do we write and submit, or we propose verbally?
You have to write and
You have to send in your comments.
So that means you have to announce that those anybody who has intention.
What is the procedure understanding of this? Why submit?
When it is announced, you have to do it prior to the announcement. You even have to start working on this since yesterday. So when it is announced and you have not done anything, do your writing and then send it over. Yeah. It is proposed that Head 03 Judiciary in the tune of 15 million stands part of the supplementary estimate. Those in favor, please say aye. Those not in favor, please say no.
Before we vote, we have a comment, no. Can we just ask for clarifications before we put these things to a vote? I think that's the procedure. We clarify and then we vote. I would like for the minister to please, I know it will be, but maybe they submitted this to you. For the vehicles, I just want a breakdown on how many vehicles do they want to buy. I don't think we have that figure. How many vehicles was submitted for them to buy? And also, on the training aspect, we have all seen that the magistrates that are to be sitting in the revising courts have already concluded their trainings. I don't know whether this is captured properly. Maybe it's the training for the clerks and stuff, but with the magistrates, they have concluded the training because these trainings are just procedural trainings. These are already magistrates, they're qualified people. So I want to know what was provided for in the budget for training under the judiciary before.
Division, please.
Okay, the vehicles. No. I'll keep that until we come back. So can we know before we make a decision how many vehicles they are planning to buy? I think that's important. If we are reducing, maybe we reduce one, but.
Chair.
Honorable Minister, respond to the concern of the honorable nominated member on the number of vehicles and the training.
Yeah, I'm just consulting the Judiciary Secretary because normally they don't submit their budget to us, but she's here. I just want to verify. Just a minute.
Honorable colleagues, when you are sending in your proposals, please write to your constituency, please.
May I, Chair? 4 pickups and 2 salon cars. Four pickups and 2 salon cars.
Honorable nominated member, are you?
Honorable Chair, I know some of the members are leaning towards rejecting this in its entirety, and that's what I don't want to happen. I know the provincial magistrates, some are in their need of these vehicles. So as we are budgeting, we can only do what is available, and we need a little bit of convincing. Is it that these 4 pickups all are going to the provincial magistrates? And I think if that is the case, maybe we can allocate the 4 pickups and leave the 2 salon cars, but at least we allocate these vehicles because they are indeed very necessary and needed. It's what I know is on the ground.
Chair, I think that the procedure is, yes, Chair. Just, yeah, you write and to do it. Then proposals, we go. Chair.
Can we get more information?
Honorable.
What is the cost of the pickups and saloon cars?
PS, and that minister, the cost of a pickup and the cost of saloon cars.
Chair.
May I? For the pickups, 2 million. Yes, it's 4 pickups for magistrate, 2 salon cars for high judges. All provincials.
Chair.
Fonyi Bintang.
And the salon 2.2.
What I'm saying, the procedure is, you don't submit anything for this, because this is submitted before. We don't submit it.
We have the submissions here, that's where we are going to read.
No, you intervene in Yakuma's...
No.
Chair.
See, that was a comment.
Chair.
Now that you know what the cost of the saloon and the pickups are, so we proceed.
Chair, Honorable.
Can we have order, please? We have 10 proposals here on the judiciary. So I'm going to read them out, and then you listen, and then we see how to vote about it. 10 proposals. Jimara is saying that he's proposing that we take 15 million from judiciary and add it to information ministry. Another proposal from Kian Central, he's proposing that judiciary be cut or reduced by 10 million. Head 03, the Upper Fatou West, he's proposing that 15 million be deleted and allocate to the allocate the 7,350,000 for the operationalization of the revising court. Same on judiciary, 15 million to be given to higher education. Fonyi Bintang, proposal of 3 million for logistics and court operations. Ilyasa is proposing 15 million should not be given to them and let them wait until the December preparation of the budget. Upper Salum is proposing. No, that one we are not dealing with. That one. That one is 15. This other one, 27. We are not dealing with that. 3. Upper Salum, reduce 5 million and leave 10 million for the judiciary, and then Jara West reduce 10 million. 10 million. Yes. So we will reduce the budget.
Yes.
10 million. Another one there. For Nijarol 03, 15 million to education. Which of the education? For Nijarol, higher education. Okay. Lower Fuladu West is proposing that we take 15 million from judiciary and add it to higher education. From Serakunda, estimate for 03 to be reduced to 12.2 million.
I'll justify mine.
Chair, we have 10 here.
More than 10.
So how do we go about? We allow everybody to justify?
Well, Chair, no, just a second. I want to make a motion for mine. That's the 12.2, that we reduce the budget from 15 million to 12.2.
That budget includes both the
amended to 12.4, being the cost of the 6 vehicles. 2 million for 4 of the vehicles.
Yeah. Okay.
And then 4.4 for the 2 other vehicles. Combined together, it gives you 12.4. I want to make that motion. Chair, would you want to second mine?
Yes, thank you. Yeah, I just want to know how many...
There is secondment to my motion.
Said Minister.
Chair, how many? I've made a motion and it's been seconded.
What's the motion?
I made a motion.
You have submissions there.
That we reduce. That we reduce head 03 judiciary from the sum of 15 million to the sum of 12.4 million.
Observation.
That's my motion.
Yeah.
It's being seconded.
Yeah, but we have submissions there already.
Chair. Honorable Chair.
I second the motion.
Yes. It's obvious, yeah.
Let them allow you to talk.
Yeah. Can we have
Honorable Chair,
yes.
Just to correct, the head 03, which is judiciary, is actually $22,350,000, not 15 million.
Yes.
So when we
No, we are dealing with the estimate.
no wait, let me is there together. The head is 03 is together. This is what you look at.
No, we're dealing with item by item. It's item by item.
What they said is by head. Honorable Chair.
We have 11 proposals for judiciary.
I have a suggestion.
Listen, please. We have 11 proposals for the judiciary. So can we listen to the figures again for a second time, and then we try to compromise, and then we proceed? Because if not, if we want to do it, we'll be there.
I have a better suggestion. Can you listen to my suggestion, please? What you have 11 submissions. Now we vote on submissions one by one. Yeah, that's it. Chair.
Honorable Chair.
Chair, please. Can you go ahead and read the submissions, please? Can we take...
Honorable Chair.
I hope we are not engaged in a tit for tat. We have to the judiciary. Let us not entertain that, please. As I said, we have 11 proposals.
Can I say something, Chair?
Honorable Chair, we'll be here until midday tomorrow morning.
Honorable Chair, because...
Will the West? Yes.
Honorable, based on the figures given by the Minister, the Honorable Member for Serekunda has suggested that since the cost of the C6 vehicles is 12.4 million, he is suggesting that that amount stands for the cost of these vehicles. He made a motion to that effect, and I've seconded it.
We cannot make a motion on each of the submissions. Honorable Chair.
I have not had, as I said, we have 11 proposals. And the proposals are one after your mic is still on. The proposals are one after the other. So we need to start with the first proposal. If we want to do that, then that means we are going to stay here for another 45 minutes before we deal with this 11. So my proposal is, let's listen to the figures, and then we come to a figure, and then we debate on that.
Yes.
If we want to take a motion for all the 11, it's going to be another 2 hours again. Absolutely. And this is only one item out of the 25. So can you please then read the figures that are coming from the proposals, and based on that, we can come to a compromise.
Chair. Yes. I've been raising my charge now for some time. Thank you very much. Yes, so the member for Serekunda made a proposal, and it was seconded. However, we have our, no, I'm coming. Let me learn. So we have also made equally, various proposals. So I think it's fair now, you give the members the opportunity to clarify why they think the members should support their proposal. So if I may, I propose that we scrap the 15 million for the cars. No, I'm coming. Let me just make it at the end of the day, it's up to the House, because the authorization of the revising codes can be funded, but these vehicles can wait now for the 2022 budget. So we can allocate these vehicles. So right now, like the IEC, we can use project vehicles for these magistrates to do their jobs. But at the end of the day, it's not an emergency, for now, us to fund, for vehicles, on the fly.
Mr. Speaker, this Chair.
Yes, let's please listen to the figures, and then we go ahead.
Please.
The first proposal is from Kerr Central.
Yeah.
He's proposing that judiciary be cut or reduced by 10 million. That's his proposal.
Yes.
Kerr Central.
Honorable Chair.
Dimara, is proposing that we add the $15 million from the judiciary to the Ministry of Information. Lower Fatou West is proposing that 15 million from judiciary and add it to higher education. Who is this one? You, Honorable, next time you write your full. Honorable nominated Yakumba is proposing that 8 million for pickups. Honorable Jamme from Foni Jarol is proposing that 15 million be given to higher education. Honorable Jara West is proposing that the estimate be reduced to 10 million. Honorable Upper Salum is reducing to reduce 5 million and leave 10 million. Honorable Ilyasa is saying that he's proposing that the 15 million be removed and then they wait for 2022. Honorable Fonyi Bintang is proposing 3 million for logistics and court operations. Then Same is 15 million to be given to the 15 million for the vehicles to be given to higher education. And then Upper Fatou West is proposing that 15 million be deleted and allocated to allocate 7,350,000 for operationalization of the revising courts. And then Serekunda West is proposing the estimate to be for 12.4 million. That is the cost of vehicles and then the training.
No, cost of vehicle only.
Cost of vehicles, 12 million.
12.4.
12.4. All Yundum, vehicles 15 million to be reduced to 10, operationalization cost.
No, we are not yet there.
So we are dealing with vehicles now. That is that the vehicles to be reduced to 10 million. So this one operational cost will be the second one. Kiang West to reduce the vehicles to 5 million. Lower Badibu, we cut it to 10 million. That is the vehicles. Combo is 5 million.
We are not seeing Brikama not here.
Brikama not.
Okay, yeah.
Brikama Not's proposal is to amend head 3, subhead 0301 by deducting 15 million and add it to higher education.
Okay, these are from more than 11.
Honorable Oldoswam, did you send in your proposal?
It's a point of order, Honorable Chair. I'm referring to Honorable House to section clause 91(9). It has prescribed the manner of dealing in any of these amendments. It says any amendment of which notice has been given shall have precedence over an amendment moved without notice. And when notice has been given of 2 or more amendments to reduce the same item, subhead or estimate, they shall be considered in the order of the magnitude of any of the reductions proposed. The amendment proposing the largest reduction being placed first in each case.
So we have 15 here, so we have to go back and check all the figures again. So that's
Honorable Chair. Honorable Chair. Honorable Chair, is clear. It should be moved to higher education. Honorable Chair. I think that is for it to be moved.
Yeah, the highest magnitude is to move it to 15 to higher education as in the proposal here.
That's it. Honorable Chair.
But we are in the same.
It is proposed that 15 million from judiciary be moved to higher education.
Yeah, opinion.
Yes? Those in favor, please say aye.
No. Aye. No. It should be seconded.
Yeah.
And then we open up a debate.
Okay, any seconder to the proposal? Yes, Honorable Jara Central.
Yes, I seconded the motion. I second. Yes, I second the motion.
Okay. Yeah. It is moved and seconded that 15 million from judiciary for vehicles be moved to higher education.
Honorable Chair,
Yes.
I am cautioning the National Assembly members that we should bear in mind that the IEC, the judiciary, the National Audit Office are given that mandate to deal directly with the National Assembly, excluding the executive. So if we come to a point where this National Assembly is seen to be very judicious and will take their concerns into consideration so that we do not incapacitate them from carrying out their functions. They are telling us that if they are to carry out their functions with efficiency and effectiveness, they need this. And we think that we know better. And we disregard what they are requesting and take those sums and take it elsewhere. What confidence do you think that judiciary will have in this National Assembly? Really, I think the
Honorable Chair, I think there has been a motion and the motion has been seconded.
I would say, Honorable Chair, I caution that what they are requesting is 6 transports. I would advise that we accept to give them the 6 transports, the exact cost, but it's left to you.
Yes, Honorable Chair.
I think the motion has been procedure-wise.
Sorry. Can we have 3 views before we put it into vote? 3 views on the movement of 15 million from judiciary to higher education.
Honorable Chair.
Yes.
Honorable Chair.
Here, please.
Honorable Chair. Can I take the floor?
Yes. Yes.
Yes, Honorable Chair. I think in my submission during the debate, I did indicate the revising code is part of the registration processes. And IEC during the course of the registration, all their senior registration officials were allocated with government vehicle during the course of the registration. I am saying similarly, this revising course is just for a period 2 months. We were told that the revising course will need about 9 magistrates. That means 10 per se. That means a provision of 10 vehicles. If government can provide over 53 vehicles to IEC officials for the election period, I believe similarly, quality vehicles can be provided for the magistrate to cover the presiding, the revising courts for the period. Now, I am saying again, if provision of vehicles for provincial court is a concern for the judiciary, let it be part of the regular budget coming.
No.
That is your opinion. I'm making my submission. I'm making my submission.
Honorable Chair, we all know the importance of the revising courts. We've seen the issues that we've encountered during the registration, and we're expecting the revising courts to be very, very, very busy. Hopefully things will go well, but we all know the importance and the need for these vehicles. So like the Honorable Member for Serekunda said, let us act with prudence. Let us be cautious
and tread with care. Because if we remove these vehicles and the need arises, we are showing them that they cannot work effectively and efficiently. We are setting precedents. I think we need the 15, we need to increase the budget. I'm on my feet, please, honorable members. We need to increase the budget for Ministry of Higher Education, but in as much as we need to do that, we also need to provide these vehicles to the judiciary.
Can you please wind the debate on this, the issue of the judiciary on the vehicles? And it's going to be...
The reality of the day, I think both Serekunda, honorable member from Serekunda, and also Banjul South, what they are saying, here we have three arms of government. The independence of each of them. Here, the judiciary, they are requesting. So I believe it's not about 2 months. What I was told is a continuous. Because these are going to be, they are going to be permanently allocated 3-4 magistrates, 2 judges, and they will be all rural. So these are vehicles that they will not use only for the revising course. They're going to use it continuously for presidential, for council elections, for all of so. So definitely I'm concerned.
Should come in the regular budget then?
I think we should do whatever it takes to make their work easy.
The regular budget. Yes.
Honorable Chair. I think we have had enough discussion on this. Can we take a vote now? We are going to take a vote now. Those in favor of moving the 15 million to higher education, please say aye. Aye. Those not in favor, please say no. No. Division.
I call for division. Division
of hands. Those in favor, please raise your tax, please, or your hand. Those in favor for the 15 million to be moved to higher education, please raise your hand. Raise it up high up, please. Those not in favor, please raise your tax. Those not in favor. Here are the results. Those in favor 25 and those not in favor 20. So the ayes have it. The 15 million now is moved to higher education and it will be added to the other number figures. So 03 judiciary operating cost, the tune of 7,350,000 for operations, logistics, court operations. Any issues or observations?
Honorable Mr. Chairman, Honorable Chair,
Honorable Chair,
let us stay as it is.
No, observation. My observation is that...
Is there any proposal there? No, there are not any proposal. There is no proposal. Only proposal that has received.
Let's move, that's okay, we'll leave that there.
There's no proposal on that.
Any proposal for operating cost, 7,350,000.
We have not received any proposal. We have to tell them we haven't received any proposal.
There's no...
Go ahead with the vote.
Honorable Chair. Sorry, Honorable Chair. Yes. Honorable Chair, I believe this is a document that we had, is a document that we received some days back. So procedure-wise, I don't think you should delay asking whether people have proposals to submit. People should submit, or members should submit proposals in hand before you get to wherever they have issues. But if you want to wait to see whether they have proposals to submit, it will delay the whole process. And procedure-wise, I don't think it will be in line. So it's better for members to submit. If they don't submit, take it as there is no proposal coming from members.
But the standing order is saying that they have.
It's both ways. You can do it in advance, or you do it during the operation itself. Yeah. So it's that one is in order. For the advanced one, that will make our work very easy. If we had people had taken cognizance of that, then it would have made our work easy. Because it's already 2 o'clock and we are just with one. So we have 2 proposals here.
No, this is not related.
We have 2 proposals. All Yundum is saying that the 7,350,000 should stay. Sorry, all Yundum is saying operation cost to, are you subtracting 5 million or what? Which one is?
No, it's here.
Operation cost. It's 7,500,000, that's what we are saying.
No, 7,350,000. I submitted another.
This is the latest?
Yes.
So this one is not valid anymore?
Yes, use the one on your list.
So the proposal we have here from All Yundum is, he is proposing that the 7,350,000 to stay as the operation cost for the revising cost.
That's not a proposal. That's not. Yeah. We don't need that. Yeah. Honorable Chair, that's not a proposal. That's a suggestion.
Okay. So now, it is proposed that all 3 judiciary operating costs amounting to 7,350,000 stands part of the bill. Supplementary estimates. Those in favor, please say aye. Those not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it.
Now, judiciary operating cost to the tune of the now stand part.
It is proposed, now judiciary 0301 judiciary operation costs to the tune of 7,350,000 now stands part of the bill. Supplementary estimate. Those in favor? Yeah, okay. So we proceed. Clerk, let's proceed.
Head 04, Independent Electoral Commission.
It is proposed that Head 04, Independent Electoral Commission application software system and licenses to the tune of 80 million stands part of the estimates.
Honorable Chair.
Those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Those not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it.
Honorable Chair.
Chair, zero vote already. Independent Electoral Commission application software system and licenses to the tune of 80 million now stands part of the bill. Supplementary estimate. Clerk, let's proceed.
Head 08, Ministry of Interior.
Honorable, the final copy that I have is
Head 08, Ministry of Interior.
Head 08, Ministry of Interior, subvention to non-financial public institution, is it?
Yeah, you have non-financial public institutions.
Yeah. No? What? No, I think you are using the old one, eh?
We are dealing with the estimate.
We are dealing with the estimates.
We are dealing with the estimate. Please.
Let's proceed.
Please. There's a proposal on that.
08.
Observation, Honorable Chair. Procedure-wise, if you allow me.
Yes.
Procedure-wise, as precedents have been said in the process, whenever proposals are made before we do voting, you allow the Honorable Minister to advise. To give advice, technical advice to the members, then we vote on that. Rather than we just decide and vote. I believe, for point of correction, that is not the procedure.
No, there was no proposal on the 80 million. That's why we went ahead. There was no proposal on the 80 million. Yeah.
08, there are proposals here. Yes, we have about 3 proposals. Yes, from 08.
We have 3 proposals for head 08. 45 million to be reduced, Low Fladu West. 45 million to be reduced to 30 million and add the 15 million to higher education. Head 8, Upper Fladu West. He's proposing that subvention be factored in the contingency and other charges provision of the Supplementary Appropriation Bill. Honorable nominated Yakumba, 3 million. 3 million honorable moved to, honorable moved to 12.5 million. No.
Can I read it? The proposal is for the 3 million for the honorarium to be removed. And the 12.5 million, I would like the minister to explain. Because what is written here is that this expenditure, or at least part of it, has already been made. Because you said we have increased their subvention from 9 million to 12.5 million to further motivate the staff. So I really need an explanation, because if it is already expenditure you have started spending, then we cannot even approve because it is out of our league.
Honorable Minister.
Thank you. No. We have not, they are still operating within their budget. Because of their recent activities, in our forecast, we know that we realize that by the end of the 4th quarter, they might have shortfall. But right now, they are operating within their budget.
Okay,
so I think the language is a choice of words. That is an error. It's a choice of words. But they are still operating within their budget, but their activities, we've seen now the increase in drug seizure and all of those things. It has increased seriously, exponentially. So what our forecast, because we do the forecast with them, then we realize that we suspect that by the end of the 4th quarter, by the time we go to the 4th quarter, there will be a shortfall, and that's what we factored in.
Honorable Minister, this increment is not on operations. The increment you are asking for is to further motivate the staff. It's either it is allowances, increase in allowances, or what exactly it is. You said further motivate staff.
General subvention. We've already touched the 3. You said now we are talking about the subvention.
Yes.
The general subvention is a normal budget operation.
Honorable Chair, but we are going out of order. Chair. You have the submissions with you. Read that first before any other explanation. No. I also submit something there.
Chair,
can you read these submissions?
Chair, please. Chair, if you read what is written here, the language is indicating that this has already been done. Because they are saying, no, listen, he said also their monthly subvention was increased from 9 million to 12.5 million. That is English. It's something that has to, you say was increased. You should have said is intended to be increased.
Okay, I'll use that, because they're still operating within their budget. They haven't busted. But I'll take your suggestion. They're still operating within their budget, yeah.
The intention is to increase.
Intended, yeah.
Well, that's what you should say. Not was increased.
Honorable Chair, I'll accept your suggestion to intended, yeah.
Chair. Honorable Chair. Chair.
I think, Honorable Chair, I think there's no misunderstanding in this language because
Honorable Chair, I've been raising my time for so long.
Because the Honorable Minister said that it was increased.
I've been raising my time for so long.
Within their budget.
I won't stop.
But they envisage
I won't stop.
to exhaust the budget by the next quarter. So that doesn't mean that it's been used. I might have my salary, I might increase my expenditure, but it might still be within my salary, I think.
Chair.
What's your observation here?
I am saying you have 3 observations there. For us to make progress, can you read them out so we can take vision on this?
It has gone to 6 now.
Yes, read them out.
Okay. Central body is proposing that the 45 million goes to higher education. Then Kerr Central is proposing that 45 million be reduced to 30 million, balance of 15 to be given to higher education. Kerr is proposing that 3 million honorable for honorarium to NDLEAG to be moved to higher education. Ilyasa is saying that 3 million should be removed and add to higher UTG. Who is this one? Tumanna. This is also saying that the 3 million be moved to higher education. Central Badibu is also saying 3 million to be added to higher education. Honorable Lower Badibu, I didn't see yours. Where is yours?
Yes, I submitted mine. There. Check. Honorable Chair. Honorable Chair.
And he said to me that that's not the purpose.
Honorable Chair.
That's not the purpose. I think it's a
Honorable Chair.
as it is. That is not the purpose.
Honorable Chair.
Honorable, do you want to recount your statement? Because you say it is maintained as
Honorable Chair.
as it is.
Yes.
You have 2 statements there.
No, it's one. What I'm saying is that this honorable, we need to be very careful as people represent them. You know, these people are dealing with drugs, and drug is money, Honorable Chair. So we need to compensate them whenever they do something which is laudable. So if you go to other countries, the way they are doing it, we are not doing that. So we need to be very careful, Honorable Chair, because these people are dealing with people who have money. Honorable Chair. I support Honorable Chair. Honorable Chair. Honorable Chair. Honorable Chair. 08 and head 08 and 15 are related. If you look at the text now, it's talking about the same thing. So that's why in my proposal I was saying that no, this has to be uniform. You cannot have one provision for the Ministry of Interior under subhead now 08 and then have the same provision now for 209 million under the contingency fund for the police. So it has to be one. It's different. So what are you doing? It's different. No. Look at the remarks. Read the remarks.
In somewhere.
Yeah, contingency security operations now for the rest of the year now by the police, immigration, they are adding on the Ministry of Interior. Yes? And the GF. You know, in addition to
let's deal with 08. When we get there,
that's why we're saying we cannot approve one then and come and approve another one for the same reasons.
What the standing order is saying, we deal with item by item, head by head. The procedure is head by head.
Chair.
And now, the proposal magnitude according to this standing orders now is to move the entire 45. And I don't know, that's very risky, but that's, we are caught by the procedure. Can you say? Yeah, now.
I think the members should unpack. Honorable Chair, I think the members should request for the minister to unpack the contingency fund rather than speculate, because the contingency even include disaster relief. So it's well packed.
Actually, the minister did give no remarks, honorable member. You know, he did give in the remarks the same entities as it is now in the 08.
Chair, we have not reached
08 is DLE, Drug Law Enforcement Agency.
Honorable Chair.
Now, what you say is
08 is specific.
Chair, can I have the floor?
Honorable.
Can you please put up your mics, please? If not, we will not be moving, please.
No, what do you say?
Honorable Chair. Honorable Minister, the proposal that we have, the largest magnitude is to move the entire 45 to higher education. So what's your thought on that?
I totally disagree. I totally disagree. If we made a mistake of doing this, we will regret it. It is very clear. Their operations will be reduced, and the way and the manner in which they operate, they will follow you. Even if you live in a hotel, they will come and take a room next to you as a suspect. Their operation is very sophisticated. They go out of their way and they risk their life. They are without nothing. They risk their life.
Honorable Chair. Yes. Honorable Chair.
Honorable Chair.
Can I comment, Honorable Chair? Yes, Honorable Chair, can I make a statement, please?
Because he brought 3.
Chair, Central Madibu, we have 2 proposals from you. You need to drop one.
What is the from? Which one is?
Which one are you dropping? The 3 million.
No. And which one are you maintaining?
Which one are you maintaining?
Can you rethink about that?
Can I put up my justification?
Justification for what?
Are you the chair?
Honorable Chair.
Honorable Chair, can I come up, please?
Can I be heard?
Chair, can we vote on this, please? Can we just vote?
Asylum, please.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Honorable, let members take their responsibilities. The ministers took on the podiums, the entire ministries, taking this money, pushing to higher education. I'm not saying we shouldn't do it, but let's be very mindful what we are doing. Taking these 45 millions, going to higher education, what will be the essence of it? And you are saying that the budget is coming. And in fact, we are always complaining criminals, drugs trafficking. Can I come, Honorable? Let's Honorable.
As a member of Defense and Security, can I come in?
Honorable Chair. Honorable Chair, can we just vote on this? Can we just vote?
Please.
Put a vote on this.
Honorable, I'll take the last one and then we will proceed. Yes.
Okay, thank you. Honorable Chair. Honorable Chair, this is not the first time we have given 100 room to people who are performing very dangerous assignments.
when the COVID-19 came, we did the same thing for the health workers. This is also another dangerous enterprise. And to discourage this, imagine cocaine, these hard drugs coming from all over the world and facing this small country. And we are discouraging those who are supposed to control that. I don't think that is going to do justice to our people.
Honorable Chairman, Honorable Chair, we are not discouraging it. No, we just want to
as member of the Defense and Security Committee,
in the contingency.
Honorable Chair. Honorable Chair.
Honorable Chair, this includes also their salaries, as what we are saying. By the time they exhaust their fuel, their operations, everything. So we might, if everything is taken off, we might, by the third quarter, we might as well close the entire the drug law enforcement agency. Close their salary.
Only councillor and then
no, Chairman.
Yes, councillor, please.
Honorable Chair, I think enough justification have been given as far as this particular budget line is concerned. I think if we really are to be guided by our consent, this is a budget line that should not be tampered, but instead let give it the blessings it deserves. That's my position.
Honorable Chair, Chairman, can I comment? Chairman, I am a member of the Defense and Security Committee. Can I comment?
Chair, I have the floor. I have the floor. Yeah, I think it looks like we are engaged in a futile exercise. See, what happened is the Drug Law Enforcement Agency, they have their own budget. The only thing they have is a subvention. The whole subvention actually is a bulk amount that they give to them. And they actually are proportionate based on the budget they have, the budget line they have. If you look at the budget here, it's a subvention that you give them as a whole. You know what I mean? So what the minister is saying is that what was approved here in their budget is about 108 million for the lakh. What he is saying now that he wants to increase that. So which means instead of 108, that actually has to increase by 45 million. So whether it's honorarium, whether it's allowance, whether it's whatever it is, that is up to them to decide. I'm not too sure why the minister is actually even saying honorarium here. Because they give them in bulk. They decide where to put what. You know what I mean? Because they have their own budget different from the Minister of Interior. Their budget is completely different. So they give them a whole bulk amount, and then I mean, check the budget is there.
Honorable, we agree. However, it has to be removed from the 209 million centralized service.
Honorable Chair, people are taking the floor without giving the
209 million.
Can we vote on this, please?
Honorable Chair, can we vote on this, please?
Can we just vote and move on?
Honorable Chair, they are saying we remove and they don't give any justification.
Can we vote on this, Honorable Chair? Can we just vote? Honorable Chair, Honorable Chair, please let us vote on this.
From the Interior Minister, and then we'll take a vote.
Do not talk about debate. Let's vote on this.
Chair, I just want to remind honorable members that the Drug Law Enforcement work on information-based activities. And everything that they do, they have to tap information. And information is always very expensive. That is their operation. Thank you.
Honorable Chair, please.
The movement of the 45 years.
Yes, Honorable Chair, please, Honorable Chair, my concern is if the Minister of Finance is calling for increment, so we need to know what happened to the previous budget. But when it comes to like motivation or giving them honorarium, what of other institutions, what of other servicemen in the country? So we cannot set a precedent.
Can I be our chairman?
Honorable Chair, can we please vote on this?
We're going to...
Exactly, we want to maintain the amount or,
Honorable Chair.
There's no consensus, then we will vote on it.
Honorable Chair, before we vote.
Let's vote on it.
Listen, let's negotiate before we vote.
No. Let's vote. Let's vote.
Okay, let's vote.
It is proposed that the Ministry of Interior subvention to non-financial public institutions, 45 million be moved to higher education. Those in favor, please say aye. Those not in favor, please say no. No. The noes have it.
Move that 08.
08 Ministry of Interior, subvention to non-financial public institutions, 45 million stands part of the supplementary estimates. Observation, please say aye. Honorable Kerr.
Wait, no.
Honorable Kerr.
Honorable.
We voted already, no observation.
Listen.
No. Chair, let's continue, please.
No. Continue. The question was to move it. Now that one was rescinded. It was defeated.
We want it to stand.
Now we want it to stand, so we have to move it. Yeah, we have to put the question.
Honorable Chair.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Point of order.
Honorable Chair, you are confusing us.
No, we vote.
Honorable, you have already voted in.
No, Honorable Chair. We voted on the proposal. There are other proposals we have to put on the board. We voted on one single proposal. No. You take it. It's like
Honorable Chair, please move it. Honorable Chair, please move it.
Honorable Chair, you start with the proposal with
the president has been set. No. Yes. So how is that with the judiciary?
What precedent has been set? No, it was not like that. After the first proposal, we go to the second one. More balance.
That the second magnitude from PMC.
Hello.
Yeah. According to studies. Just say this.
We have the highest magnitude was 45. The second magnitude is 30.
Now, put this question to that.
It is proposed that.
Honorable Chair, let's maintain the figure. That's out of order. That's out of order. Maintain the figure. No. The next magnitude. No, that's not. No, we cannot go two times. On the same
We have to put the same item. It's not. That is in order. That is in order. Go to your standing orders.
Maintain the figure is the next magnitude.
Okay.
Can we listen to what any amendment of which notice has been given shall have precedence over an amendment moved without notice. And when notice has been given of 2 or more amendments to reduce the same item, subhead or estimate, they shall be considered in the order of the magnitude of any of the reductions proposed. The amendment proposing the largest reduction being placed first and in each case. So we have dealt with, we are going by order. We've dealt with the 45 and now we are going with the 30, which is the second largest. Yes.
But what do you do with the judiciary? Let's maintain the judiciary.
Honorable Kerr. Honorable Kerr.
Want to move a motion to maintain it and to be a vote. Honorable Chair, I move a motion that we maintain the figure there.
I second that. Chair, 45 was not reduced. It was maintaining and it's been voted for already.
Already, yes, we really took a vote. No.
I've never done that. Please. Honorable Chair, we have never done that. We need to respect the procedure.
The voting was for us to maintain it.
We maintain it as maintain the 45. That has never happened. We maintain it. We move no, but we maintain it. That is out of order. Honorable Chair. Honorable Chair.
Please. Can we have one meeting, please? It's getting to 3 o'clock and we still have another 10 to go.
Honorable Chair, I need clarification.
Yes.
I need clarification, Honorable Chair.
Okay, just wait for Serekunda, please.
Honorable Chair, really, if you look at 9, it is talking about notice. And notice is given before 4 p.m. So these amendments we are proposing, notice has not actually been given, but it is permissible for us to submit right away for amendments. But we must differentiate amendments to which notice have been given and amendments that we are forwarding right now. So essentially it's your discretion to determine how we should proceed.
Honorable Chair.
You may look at 4 to distinguish amendments to which notice are given and amendments to which notice have not been given.
The question has to go to the other one. We have already dealt with 4. We have 2 proposals on this 45 million. The first one was to move the 45 million to higher education. That has fallen. This other one is saying that we reduce the amount from 45 to 30 million. That's the second one, and there we need to put the question. Yes.
Honorable Chair.
Yes, we have 2 proposals.
Honorable Chair.
Yes.
But I think we already voted on this. No, we did. No. Honorable Chair, I was... No, that is not a move. Honorable Chair, I'm sorting clarification. I'm sorting for clarification, Honorable Chair.
Yes.
Can I be heard? The first proposal was to remove the 45 million to, other ministry. But this parliament has taken decision not to move it, to maintain as it is. And that's why we have voted. No, the vote was not based on that. The vote was not based on that.
Proposal on same subject that we maintain the amount of 45 million for interior.
So if that happens.
Honorable Chair. Honorable Chair.
Maintain is to maintain 45, which is higher than 30. You understand?
Honorable Chair. Honorable Chair.
We have 2 proposals that came in, which is suggesting that we maintain the 45 million. Another one is saying that we reduce the 45 to 30 million. So the highest magnitude is to maintain the 45.
So if it falls, then
we will have to put the vote, and if it fails, then we move to the 30.
So if we voted for...
No. We have this thing to...
No, Honorable Kerr, we have already voted. We have already voted for 45 to stay. Yes.
So, hello.
But we are not going to vote again for 45.
No. Yeah. It is proposed.
Honorable Chair.
It is proposed that Honorable Chair, before we propose that Head 08 Ministry of Interior, subvention to non-financial public institutions, $45 million stands part of this supplementary estimate. Those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Those not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it. 08 Ministry of Interior, subvention to non-financial public institutions, $45 million now stands part of the estimate. Stop. Let's proceed, clerk.
Honorable Chair. Head 12, Ministry of Finance and Economic Affairs.
Let me, the proposals are here, many.
What is this? You are writing a book.
What is this?
This is Jumara. This is Jumara. Proposal for Head 12 as follows. Upper Fatou West is proposing that all the payments of areas be suspended until the 2022 budget to reflect in their allocations. Same, Ministry of Finance and Economic Affairs, remove 20 million and give it to higher education. Lower Fatou West, Ministry of Finance and Economic Affairs, payment of areas owed to the Equus Bank of Investment wait until next budget and move the 51 million to higher education. Kerr West, 51 million is proposing, Kerr West is proposing 51 million. Wait for the budget, next coming budget. This is a small book. What are you writing here? Payment of areas to Equus Bank of Investment areas 51 million should be suspended till further notice because of COVID-19. Cantora, 50 million to be approved. Lower Badibu, Head 12 stands part of the bill. And then Banjul South, 51 moved to Ministry of Higher Education.
Okay.
No, you have seen yours. I read yours already. Where are you sleeping? I read it. I read it already.
All right.
Why is magnitude is 50?
No, you don't dictate the chair.
Go, please.
Okay, he said to use.
I've already said it, yeah. Honorable nominated Yakumba.
We cannot approve this in the supplementary appropriation because it is illegal according to section 132. No, this is demanding for an explanation of the illegality of this.
Honorable Kumba is demanding for an explanation from the Minister for the legality of this sum in the Supplementary Appropriation. Then Banjul South is to move the 51 move to Ministry of Higher Education. Head 12 Lower Badibu is saying that should stand part of the bill. Dimara is proposing to reduce the 40 million from the Ministry of Finance under other equity participation and move it to Information Ministry. Nyani, move to Higher Education. 51 million, eh? Lower Salum, to maintain 51 million for the payment of areas. Central Badibu is saying payment of areas to be maintained. Nyamina West, 50. We are dealing with 12, not yet 15. Huh? That is, we are dealing with 12. We are not yet at 15. Nam Tumanna, payment of areas of 51 million be moved to higher education. So how many are saying?
Honorable Chair, can I have Chair? Chair procedure. Chair, can I be heard?
Honorable Serakunda.
Chair, the proposal should be about amendments. So what is there is not to be proposed. That is what you are proposing to us. But if somebody has an amendment, then they can submit proposal for amendments. So nobody should recommend there for the 51 to be maintained.
Honorable Chair, order please, order. Order, I have a point of order, please. Please, can I be heard? Please, just listen, let's learn together. Clause 91, sub-clause 8. Let's all read it together. It says, an amendment to leave out an individual estimate shall not be in order, and a member desiring to do so should instead oppose the question to approve the individual estimate. And I'm hearing proposal to completely move something out, so and so. I think definitely it's not correct.
Chair, I've sent my proposal.
The highest amendment we have here is from Cantora, who is proposing that we reduce it to 50, from 51 to 50 million. Any seconder?
Yes, I second that.
Okay.
Honorable Chair, sorry, the legality of this, the Honorable Member of Serakunda has raised it, and I think we cannot avoid the discussion. We need to be very clear whether we can even approve this in the first place or not, because these, as stated here, are expenditures that are already incurred, and in an SAP you cannot provide for expenditure that is already incurred. So the Minister of Finance really need to explain this issue of IES, and we have to take a tough decision on what to do about it.
Pass that speech, Chair, please. Honorable Chair. Honorable Chair, there's a motion.
Honorable Chair.
Well, I believe that what we are told here on the 12th is payment of arrears owed to the ECOWAS Bank of investment. So the use of arrears, I think this is where the minister needs to continue to clarify, because it tends to soil the whole interpretation. So if they are supposed to pay something but have not paid it, then they have not incurred any expenditure. So, and that should be reflected properly, because you do not call that arrears in this form. You have not done your payment, so that's why I was saying that you need to be specific on what you are telling us.
Yeah, I agree with the National Assembly member from Serekunda. They're overdues. We are a member of the bank. We're shareholders. So these are share capital equity that you pay. It's an investment bank, and we're a member. And now we're a minority shareholder. The total actually, once you pay this, then you have a payment plan. What will happen? We'll soon lose we might lose our voting rights, number one. Number two, for the first time in the history of the bank, we have just competitively been awarded the vice presidents for operation. A Gambia now, for the first time in the history, will be occupying the vice presidents for operations. So the idea of you occupying the vice president's operations, and you have all of these overdues to be paid, and he will be the one who will be following countries for the overdue payment. So this is it. It's not arrears. It's not something that we've paid. No. After the approval, then that's when we'll be paying.
Thank you. Honorable Chair, just for further clarity, I think we are missing the whole point. The SAP is not saying that for the expenditure you have already paid for. The word here is incurred. And he said these are overdues, meaning they have already incurred these expenses. Regardless of it, it is something we must pay and we have incurred. That is what he said. It's very clear. We have already incurred the expenses.
Can I be application, please? This is a contribution, Honorable Chair.
Can I be heard, Chair? Honorable Chair. Honorable Chair. Willie is me. You say Willie is, you are still saying nonsense. Are you the Chair? Honorable Chair, we are part of a bank, and this is our contribution. It has not been paid. It's a statutory instrument now. We should pay. There is nothing like you incur something. You are paying. We should pay to the bank. It's our contribution. Please, nothing like you incurred here. Chair, no, it's not our Chair.
Give me opportunity, please. I think the point is that I don't have any problem, of the language of section 1531, because it says, that whether we have appropriated in the normal budget or a need has arisen. So a need has arisen, and therefore, that's what the minister is saying, that we need to pay these debts. My point is, we're looking at the situation of the country. Look, it's simple. What the minister is saying, we're not arguing it. But countries owe the Gambia a lot of money, and they're not paying us, especially when you go to this hotel industry. Because of COVID-19, people are not defaulting, and they're not having to, we have a situation where the COVID-19 might come and hamper us in the next 6 months. What do we do? So we should have a contingency plan in place to make sure that we don't use all our funds.
Chair, this debate is out of order. This debate is out of order, Chair.
It's up to us. Whether we think that these expenses are necessary right now. This is the point.
Observation, please.
Chair, please.
Yes, Honorable Chair. I think there is a motion already on the ground. Please, someone have moved a motion. Let's just work on that motion.
Honorable Kerr,
it's better.
I think that the concern raised was about the legality of the payment whether the payment has been incurred or not.
Honorable Chair, people have been raising their tax and you show them you don't say anything.
They understand
to come from me. I've been raising my tax. I've been raising our tax and you keep ignoring me. Why? This is not fair. No, it's not good. It's fair. Honorable Chair, I've been raising my tax. You are ignoring me. Honorable Chair, people should stop.
The understanding is that. Who are you? Hey, please.
What's your problem?
I want to avoid you for today. It's not fair. Sit down. I don't want to jump on the fair.
Hey, Majango, come on.
Can I continue?
Stop that. No.
Can I continue?
The way you are criticizing is unnormal.
Can I continue?
If you do not criticize, you are also criticize.
Please.
What can you do? What can you do?
Honorable Chair,
you cannot kick me out of this house.
Honorable Chair.
No, you are not criticizing.
Can I continue?
No.
In this case, continue here. In this case, no payment has been discriminated. We are a defaulter in our payment. It's not correct. What the?
Let him withdraw that. Hey, Honorable Chair, use your powers. Use your powers. That has to be withdrawn. Use your powers. Honorable Chair, use your powers.
Be careful.
That's an insult.
I am warning you, last warning, okay?
Hey. Give me the floor.
Chair, what I'm saying is that in this case, there is no payment incurred. We merely default in our payment.
Honorable Chair.
We merely default in our payment. And if it is an obligation to pay, I think legally we are not doing anything illegal. That's the position.
No, the Chair, I'm raising my chance. Let's vote.
You have your chance.
No, I didn't have my chance. You give me a chance. I didn't have my chance.
Nobody will. All good. Chair. All you do. I withdraw.
It's okay.
Please, Chair. Yes. Will you want to speak? Honorable Chair.
Honorable Chair, it is very clear that we are not behaving as parliamentarians here today. And if we continue like this, we will be here until tomorrow, no problem will be solved here. Either we decide to define, Chair, either we decide to define the method we are going to use, or we pack up, because we are not going anywhere. Everybody is talking, everybody is shouting, as if we are in I don't know where.
Honorable Chair, Honorable Chair.
Can we please, honorable members, please allow me to make a statement. The procedure is very clear. If a part is written, is read, because we have not sent in any notices in advance, though we allow people to send in their comments, and then we will discuss the comments and agree to disagree. If we do not agree, we'll take it to a vote. So I think that is very simple. If you want to take the floor, you need to take the permission of the chair. Yes, because we cannot just be sitting here. It's already getting to 4 o'clock. and we have not done we've not gone even halfway. So this is the last one, and then we'll take a vote. Honorable Serekunda.
Order. I think the procedure is exactly what you should follow. It is saying that if there is an amendment, they send the amendment they wish to propose, and then you look at the amendments that are available. Then we start, if a person moves and there is a secondment to that motion, then you can allow few comments, and then we move to vote. If that falls, you go to the next one. If that falls, we go to the next one. I think, and without a secondment, then that motion falls anyway. And I believe if we adopt that, we'll proceed very fast. Because every motion should be seconded.
We maintain 50. We reduce it from 51 to 50. Any seconder for the proposal from Kantora? Okay, go ahead. It's seconded by Lower Salu. It is moved and seconded that we reduce 51 to 50. $50 million. Those who are saying we maintain as it is are not. So now.
There will be few comments on that amendment, and then you take a vote.
Yeah. So any comments on that amendment? Sabak Sanjan?
Yes, thank you very much, Chairman. Chairman, I think you are taking the time of the Assembly. We have clear procedures, and the standing order should guide this process. Don't allow people, this stage, we don't open debates. You just submit your written submission, and decision is taken on those proposals. That is simple. That is how we are doing. And even if you propose a reduction, you cannot just appropriate to a particular sector. You have to put it as a saving after we decide where to put it. But the way we are going is cumbersome. And definitely we are not working as a parliament. If you look at the way people operate, behaving here, it's very bad. You have to assert your position, your powers, and we go ahead. Thank you.
Bintam, for you, Bintam.
Chairman, I think the Honorable Speaker has slightly justified Honorable Minister has slightly justified why this 51 million. He has said that we have secured a very important position in that bank. And you cannot be in that bank, foreign other countries, they will pay, and you are not paying. So I think it's very important to leave it as it is.
Don't waste our time.
It's not even what paid. It's just amount he just wanted to just pay. And then he said, who the fellow will be discussed?
And then the minister will be the person, and we take
I concur with honorable member for Bintam.
Your motion is seconded, so you don't have to say.
We are debating your motion.
We have already seconded. Your motion was already seconded. So what are you going to say?
I concur with the honorable member for Fonyi Bintam Karanai. It makes no difference. 51 to 50. Why can't we pay all? 51 once and for all. It is a commitment. Let's fulfill the commitment.
Then
withdraw your motion. Withdraw your motion.
Honorable Kantora, do you want to amend your motion now?
Thank you very much.
Go ahead and amend your motion.
Thank you, Honorable Chairperson. I so move that I withdraw the first motion and leave it as it is. 51 million to be approved.
New proposal, Gimara. Okay, it's seconded. It is moved and seconded that Ministry of Finance and Economic Affairs contribution to international organizations to the tune of $51 million stand part of the supplementary estimate. Those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Those not in favor, please say no.
No.
The ayes have it. Let's proceed, clerk. Let's proceed, clerk.
Head 12, the Ministry of Finance and Economic Affairs. Again, order equity participation.
It is proposed that Head 12, Ministry of Finance and Economic Affairs, other equity participation, 80,214,256 being payment of areas owed to the Islamic Development Bank on equity participation. Any proposal?
Yes, that's a proposal. Mine is there. Yes, is there. There's a proposal. Go through.
Honorable Chair, stop looking at those papers.
Padibu, I think you have to write your observations properly because we have 212 heads here. We don't know which one you are referring to. Honorable Lower Badibu, we have 212 sub-heads here and we don't know which one you are referring to.
The first one.
We have already dealt with that one.
Yes.
Yeah, so that one, okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. Please, let's try to write these things clearly.
Honorable Chair.
Yes.
You move.
12 to proposal, Minister.
No, you can't propose anything here. You are creating problems for yourselves.
Same, which one do you submit? Ministry of Finance and Economic Affairs remove 20 million and give it to the higher education. Which one? You have two ministries, two. Okay. He's proposing that we move 20 million to from the 80 to higher education. Upper Fatou West, he's proposing that payments of areas be suspended till the 2022 budget to reflect those allocations. Head 1201, who is this one? Brikama South constituency, 30 million from the Ministry of Finance and Economic Affairs to the Ministry of Higher Education. And then Gimara is proposing that 40 million from Ministry of Finance under other equity participation and move to Information Ministry.
So this is the highest.
Look at property. It's there. Chair, move. Another property. Chair, move.
Investment that you are saying, you are proposing that it move to the UTG. We've already dealt with that one. Okay, he's saying that other equity participation payment of areas owed to the Islamic Development Equity Participation amounting to 80.204 should be suspended for further notice because of COVID-19. Don't mind. So now we have this one is
This one is Kimara. I think that deduction that we have, the highest deduction we have is 40.
The highest deduction we had came from Jimara. He's proposing that 40 million from Ministry of Finance under other equity participation and move to Information Ministry.
Honorable, observation, please. Honorable Chair, I want to withdraw, please. So that
withdraw that one. Thank you.
Honorable, I think the highest is Ilyasa.
No. That's not an amendment. The other one that stands here now is 30 million from the Ministry of Finance and Economic Affairs to Ministry of Higher Education, Brikama South. No, 40 million. No, that one is, we withdrew already, Jimara. Right.
Honorable,
yes.
Observation, please. Yes, there are also who wanted to maintain the figure that is inside. No, allow me to come.
Honorable, according to the standing order, that's not an amendment. That's not
what I'm saying here is,
that's not no order.
Allow me to come, Honorable Chair. I'm saying here is, there are also members who wanted to retain the amount there. You also need to factor those members, whether the amount is going to be paid or not.
No. That doesn't work that way. No. You cannot factor in that way.
Honorable Chair, thank you very much. I'm just trying to appeal. We have to stop misleading the Parliament that these are already in court areas. They are not. No, of course, a member mentioned that these are in court areas. We should stop misleading Parliament. These are not in court areas. These are contribution. You understand? Default contribution. And as a result of that, let's try and make sure that we pay these things. Reducing it, wait. Reducing it. Yeah, reducing it does not really, take us anywhere. So please, move a motion to that effect. That 80,214,256 be maintained.
Counter motion.
Seconded. Counter motion. Honorable Chair.
Seconded. Counter motion.
Honorable Chair.
Final note.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chair. Honorable Chair, there is a practice in the US that they call filibuster, delaying a process. I believe our interest should be, the most that we can do is to ask the minister to unpack. If the amount is, too much, and then there are so many elements, let them tell us which requires what, so that we'll see which deserve priority. But our interest should not be to handicap the processes of the state. That should not be our interest. We should not handicap the process of the state. This is the appeal that I want to make to members. Let us make progress. We cannot spend the whole night here. Thank you.
Honorable Chair.
I don't think there is any member here.
Honorable Chair. Honorable Chair. Honorable Chair. Honorable Chair. Okay, thank you. I think the members are right. No, we should have one approach. These figures represent a percentage. So somebody's market. Reducing it doesn't mean anything. We only have to vote on whether to actually approve this or not approve it. So from my standpoint, I'm saying we don't want to approve it, but that's left to the plenary. But we should not be reducing these numbers because we think, it doesn't mean that we are paying 18 million because it's what the minister wants to pay. Maybe it reflects a percentage of how much you should pay. So let's just either support it or not support it. And in my case, I'm not supporting it. That's my position.
So move. Yes, Chair, please help us to do that. Colleagues, let us just maintain this as it is. Stop standing proposal.
It is proposed that Ministry of Finance and Economic Affairs order equity participation 80,214,256 stands part of the supplementary estimate. Those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Those not in favor, please say no.
No.
The ayes have it.
No. That's a division.
So, Head 4, Head 12, Ministry of Finance and Economic Affairs, order equity participation, 80,214,256 now stands part of the supplementary estimate. Clerk, let's proceed.
Head 15, centralized services.
It is proposed put the cakes of food. Those who don't want to let him just vote. Just announce that.
Centralized, Head 15, centralized services, contingency, 209,374,962,010 bututs. It is proposed,
Yes, that's what I wanted to know. Proposals, please go ahead and propose. I need a clarity. Colleagues, please, let's move ahead. We should not entertain proposals now.
Let's have your comments, and then the minister can clarify.
Then I will put the question.
Yes, let's have the comments. Honorable, your comment. We're only taking comments. Yes, go ahead.
Honorable Chair, what I'm proposing here,
yes.
What I'm proposing here, let's give Minister the opportunity to explain and unpack this contingency,
yes,
so that we understand how many percentage is going to drug law enforcement disaster also, please.
Exactly. I concord with him. Let's do that. Let him dwell on that. Please explain.
Yes, thank you very much.
Unpack the figure. Unpack the 209 million.
Yes, 75 million is for the security operation. That's the joint security operation. 134,374,962.10 is for disaster management. 134,374,962.10 disaster management.
Thank you. I have an observation on that.
Yes.
Order. No, that's fine, order. I just want to make sure that we are doing exactly what the minister intends, In 08, we have approved 45 million for Drug Law Enforcement Agency of the Gambia. And in the same 75 that he's talking about, I believe, that's 45 is in there, because that's what he has captured in his contingency. Okay?
It's different. It's a general.
So therefore, this has been my argument.
Honorable, please, let's have one meeting, please.
If you separate the two entities in the beginning, you cannot come and incorporate it back again in the contingency fund. So the 45 million have to come from here, so that we approve $164,374,962.
Can we listen to the committee?
Honorable Chair.
To the security committee.
Honorable Chairman. Yes, thank you very much, Chairman.
Honorable Chair, can we listen to the...
I'm on the floor.
Clarify, please.
Yes, thank you very much, Mr. Chair. I think, Chair, I'm still maintaining my position. You help us out. This is not the time to debate or to bring to anybody who has proposal. You have to write it and submit it. You take those submission and take vote on them. That is the procedure. If you allow people to open debate here, we will be here for the rest of the night. This is not the procedure.
It's
already against you. Again, we can go ahead.
That's my question. He's stating the wrong procedure. The procedure is every question has to be answered before a vote is taken. That is the procedure.
That was a debating process. No,
you debated here and has to be taken before a vote.
The right time.
Read your law.
It's allowed.
Debate is allowed.
It's allowed, Honorable Salasanjal. Go ahead, please.
It is important that we listen to the minister rather than invent the facts. The minister is saying the sum that is allocated to all the security forces, including GAF, etc., is that 75, and the rest is disaster relief. That has nothing to do with the 45 million, which is dealing with purely the drug law enforcement. So we should not confuse the two. They are completely different figures. And the issue is clear. What the minister should further explain is why it is contingency. This is going to be under the control, isn't it, Honorable Minister? Under the control of the Minister of Finance, that you do not spend this amount without actual vetting. So it's different from what is going to be allocated to drug law, which goes into their budget. That's my assumption. Is it that way, Honorable Minister?
You are right. You are right. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah,
this one is
Honorable Chair.
The other one, as you rightly explained.
Honorable Chair.
It will be under our custody.
Yes, I saw it.
Yeah, Honorable Minister, but we told you that there are some more other pressing issues. Before we leave this contingency, we want this 75 million to be used. Right now, it is a contingency. So it is not. No, you are not understanding. Read.
Chair, I want to move a motion. Honorable, I want to move a motion.
Clarify that position, please. We are not taking anything.
I want to move a motion.
Chair, this one, the 75, is a joint security and is demand driven. As they request, that's how we will be. It's something that they will do it jointly. It's not like one agency doing, taking the whole lot. No, it's joint operations.
Honorable Chair, can I move a motion? Honorable Chairman, observation, sir. Honorable Chairman, Halifa, I observe, Chair. Honorable Chair, you have the proposals. Honorable Chair, proceed with the proposals.
In fact, Honorable Chair, this was what I was asking the Minister during my intervention.
Honorable Chair.
Because here, in this place here, you have Drug Law Enforcement Agency. They are benefiting twice. Because at first they were given their own budget here according to the proposal. Now they are now in the joint security force operations. So automatically it means now these people are going to have two benefits.
Yes. Chairman, thank you so much, Chairman. I think, Honorable Minister, I want some clarification in this particular area. Like you look at it during our caucus with the whole House, the NDA director made it emphatically clear that they have access over 4,626 families, and which is ongoing, it's not excessive. And they have asked an expert to take an assessment of the amount of damage that has been done in terms of compensation. Like per household, there is kind of 30,000 that is allocated. And if you look at it, if you remove 75 million from this amount, which is going to the security denomination, NDA and others, like it has been allocated in the other budget line too. So what is left is going to be 134. And what the NDA told us that before the end, they are expecting over 10,000 households or 10,000 compounds that they are going to get. And if you look at the amount that is left, cannot take care of in addressing, in responding to the disaster that has been done by the windstorm. So that's a problem. And if you look at it, this 75 million, where we have another pressing issue with regards to the issue of higher education, the university thing. If we can remove 30 million and give it from this 75 million, and the rest be added to 134, I think that will be ideal rather than keeping this thing for contingency. And there are pressing issues right now with regards to the issue of disaster and the university issue. Honorable Chair, I want to observe. Point of observation. Chairman, are you visiting my proposal? Chairman, Honorable Chair, have you seen, it's already there, I have submitted it. My proposal. Honorable Chair, can I be heard? That's mine. Nobody is compromising security here. Honorable Chair, can I? Honorable Chair.
Honorable Chair, let's vote now and we proceed.
Honorable Chair, the Honorable Minister wants to make an explanation.
Honorable Chair. Honorable Chair.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chair. I just want to make some clarification here. We are coming to face elections, and the security service are at the moment making their contingency planning, and this particular budget stems from that planning. The Security Council have already invited the Minister of Finance to meetings, and then we said, let them be ready that we are going to submit a budget to them for the elections and also expansion of the Operation Zero Crime. This particular budget is meant for that 75,000. Any deduction there, we are all taking the highest risk. Thank you.
Let's vote for it and move on, please.
No, there's a proposal.
Chair, can I be heard?
Chair, let's deal with our proposals.
Colleagues, please drop your proposals, please. Time is not on our side.
Upper Salon is proposing that we add 60 million specifically for MOPSI to renovate or build staff quarters. Huh? What? From budget? Huh? I did not understand your this. It's from budget?
Let me see.
And let's move. Budget support.
What is he writing?
What is budget support from where?
What budget?
No, that's part. It's not part of this one. I'm not saying.
MOPSI is not there at all. Yeah. MOPSI is not there. Let's move, please. Honorable Chair.
I think let's put the question on the main thing. If anybody's agency, let him just vote no.
Honorable Chair, can I ask a question to the Minister of Finance?
Who is asking the question?
Honorable Judge.
Yeah, that will be the last one, and we'll put a vote. Eh?
Thank you very much for the opportunity. Honorable Minister, all what you want is to help the vulnerable people of the country. The disaster, allocation for the disaster is very far below the proposal and the suggestion from the agency responsible for disaster mitigation. They requested for 500 million and you are giving them 134, which is far less than what they requested. And then our people are outside sleeping under the sun without roof on their head. Do you have any plan other than this meager amount where you will be able to respond to the need of the Gambian people living in their houses without roof on their head? Thank you.
Chair, am I?
Yeah, thank you very much. Actually, as at now, it's on demand basis because what the director has given us is an estimate. We've already released 40 million directly to him, and they're using it. So this one is the availability of the resources. So we just have to see for the time being what will happen in the future. I don't know, but for the time being, this is what because immediately when the disaster hit, we were able to mobilize 40 million. So now this will help at least we move forward. As to what is going to happen tomorrow, that I don't know. We will still continue to see what we can mobilize, but there is no guarantee.
Sure.
And also we are seeking assistance also from our partners. So we hope that the World Bank will come on board. But for the time being, it's always good to start inwards first, and then later we'll see. But I cannot guarantee the amount, but they are our priority as of now, definitely.
Chair, can I as the chief planner of the government, Honorable Minister, your I don't know is uncertain, and the people are outside. We want to be sure. And then, excuse me, please, if we are all the same intention we have, let's talk to the Minister of Finance. He's the chief planner of the government. So he cannot plan in ambiguity. He has to plan to be clear of what is going to happen. We are anticipating more disasters will come, but as it is now, we have disaster victims outside. So you cannot tell me you don't know what is going to happen.
Move, yes. Yes.
Please.
Serakunda, go ahead, please, yes.
Honorable Chair, what is before us is to consider the estimates. We either propose amendment to increase, an amendment to reduce, and balance reduction and increment. We cannot invent new items, so you cannot talk about basic education here when it's not part of this whole budgetary consideration. So we should just concentrate on that. Then after we finish, we may ask the Honorable Minister whether he has sums of money elsewhere, because you can see 7, those introduce that element. An amendment to increase the sum allotted to the estimates overall may only be moved by the Vice President or Minister. So it means that the Minister may, after we've done everything, to propose something to increase the higher education budget to this, and if he has the funding. I think that's another element. Why don't we proceed and do our work, and then all these increments and other consideration, we can look at it thereafter.
It is proposed that centralized services contingency, OC, 209,374,962.10 stands part of the supplementary estimate. Those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Those not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it. Clerk, let's proceed.
Head 18, Ministry of Works and Infrastructure.
It is proposed that Head 18, Ministry of Works and Infrastructure, subvention to non-financial public to the tune of 25 million being bailed out of GCAA to cover some of their recurrent operations.
Could the Minister explain comparatively paying higher education and providing GCCA, which would he give a priority?
Chair, observation please.
Honorable Chair.
You need to put it to vote. You propose and you stop there. You didn't put the vote. Yeah, thank you very much. I would rather leave it with GCAA. I would rather leave the 25 million with GCAA because it is something that they don't want, but they need it. Actually, they needed more, but this is what is available. I would rather give it to GCAA.
Honorable Chair, follow-up question. Honorable Chair, follow-up question.
People to vote, Honorable Chair.
After question does not need it.
People to vote, Honorable Chair.
Central Badibu.
Honorable Minister, Honorable Chair, if the Honorable Minister can tell us, because last budget I could remember during the COVID, an amount was allocated to GCA. Now, what strategy do you have? Because we cannot be only bailing them out. You know, we need to think of sustainability. So what strategy do you have for them to be on their own? Because you cannot be always rescuing them, you know, any budget system.
Chair.
Who is?
Yes.
Huh? Kantora?
Thank you very much. Chair, having heard the submission by the Minister, we are convinced to maintain the 25 million there.
And I'm asking you, humbly requesting you put the vote so that we can make progress. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Can the Honorable Minister tell us the purpose? Because the Honorable Minister for Higher Education had made emphasis on the importance of clearing the arrears of the Higher Education Department. Can the Honorable Minister tell us the purpose of this 25 million, please?
Chair, can I ask so we can answer together? Honorable Minister, this tax levy that is collected from every traveler that is traveling from the airport, the $1,000 is 20, where is that going to, since these people are in need of revenue? Where is that money going to before we allocate 25 million, and tell us exactly what they would be using these monies for?
Honorable Chair.
Answer the two questions.
Yeah. Honorable Chair.
From Banjul South and Banjul South and
Honorable Chair.
You have to allow the minister to answer.
But you are not giving floor to other people and they are talking. Why are you doing that?
Honorable Minister, go ahead, please.
Thank you very much. The 25, the earlier bailout was just for their salaries. Since then, because if there is any sector that has been heavily impacted, it's the GCA, no flights, zero. So they were all the time operating in the red. The levies that they're talking about is a PPP arrangement. For the time being, up to the time they take over, I think it should be about 80-20. So this is the percentage that they are having. So it's still, after this, I don't foresee any more bailouts, because right now, flights have now resumed. Like SN Brussels is now almost 7 days a week. Air Morocco, Air Portugal. I even understand that Air France is will also be starting in October. So at least they will be stabilized. Because of the COVID, really everything they were paralyzed. They were paralyzed. And it's a new airport terminal, and you know the operation cost definitely has been increasing, and that they've been in the red. So this will help them at least stabilize a little bit.
Please, can I put the vote?
Hello, Mr. Chair. Can you read the proposal, please?
Honorable Chair.
Honorable Chair, I think
they
the question denominated member is not answered by the minister.
They were hard hit. What about the hotel industry? They were also hard hit. Are we expecting to bail them out as well?
Honorable Chair, my question has not been answered. Can I seek further clarity?
We have given those are private companies. We have allocated $100 million then, and the minister already distributed. This one is our own. This is the face of Gambia. It's the face of Gambia, and though that airport is very, very important. It's so critical that if we don't make good of that, the air safety and all of those things, it is not a good image for us. Really, it's very, very important for them to be stable, have efficient air services that they can render.
Please, Honorable Chair, can you put the vote now? We've had enough.
Can I have my question answered, Honorable Minister, please? Honorable Chair, the question is, the GCA are making revenue from the $1,000 tax they are collecting. I didn't hear that part.
I said it's a PPP arrangement, and the way the allocation is done, I think if my memory serves me right, is the private sector is getting 80, they are getting 20 until they take over. Then they'll take the entire 100%.
Chair, put it to vote. We proceed to next attempt. The vote, the proposals, move, please. The proposals. Move. Yeah, go to the proposal, please.
Allowing people to talk when they are not giving the
Posting that 20. Honorable Janjambura is proposing that 25 million be reduce the bailout to GCCA until 2022 budget.
That's not reducing.
That's not reduction. Amend head 18 by deducting 25 million. No. 25 million and add it to higher education.
That's not reduction.
That's not it. 30.
No, this is not correct. We have passed this.
We've already passed this Brikama South. You cannot. Kantora is proposing an approval for 24 million. Yeah, okay. Hello, Honorable Busumbala. Honorable Busumbala, you are a member of the Education Committee. The Education Minister is speaking.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Now, this is money unexpected. If this money was not there, what were going to be the plans for the Ministry of Finance for civil aviation rather? He would have perhaps put it in the 2022 budgets. If that is the case, if he had no plans then, it means that it would have gone like that. So it is not an emergency. For us, it is an emergency. We had students who were going to lose their exams, and that would have led to the deferment of the semester, and therefore it would not have taken them 4 years to finish their degree, but 5 years to finish their degree.
I am with you. I'm happy you are taking your stand.
Order, please. This is money that they just unexpectedly got. And out of the cuff, at the level of coup d'etat, thought that they should give civil aviation 25 million. I have been following him since 2018. And people, the Education Committee can bear me witness, and him. The first SAP we missed out. Are we going to miss out in the second SAP? It is only 15 million that you have given us so far. You remember that? Aside from the 50 that you have put here. No, I don't think that is right.
May I?
An option. Can we look at an option?
Mr. Kerr, proposal, please.
Honorable Chair, could the Honorable Minister solve our problem? The Honorable Minister, Honorable Chair, can see the mind of this National Assembly, that we want to clear all the debts of higher education. If he has an option where he can raise more money to be able to do that, why don't he simply state that, so that we have that in mind when we are considering the rest? Otherwise, we'll continue to look at where to cut to be able to solve the problem.
Yes, thank you, Chair. Honorable Minister, you know, I raised an issue during the debate.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes. I said the loan scheme, which is quashed, you know, can be diverted to solve the problem of the higher education. Because it's already budgeted. So all they do is buy it to higher education from the assembly. Can that not be done to solve the problem? So that we maintain this 25 for aviation.
I read proposals. Where we complied with the court orders, and according to what was instructed is to strike it out, and it was stricken out. So we didn't save it anywhere, no. It was out, totally out.
Mr. Minister, the first proposal was calling for 1.7 billion. And this second one is 1.5. There is a difference of 267 million. Is this still available? If it is available, then it solves our problem.
Okay, you want to answer Khalifa's question? Where then?
Honorable Chair.
Did you get?
Honorable Chair.
Honorable Minister. No, I am asking. The first proposal the ministry sent here to the National Assembly was for 1.7 billion. Now we are talking about 1.5. There is a shortfall of 267 million. If that amount is available, then why can't we pay the higher education and GRTS?
Honorable Chair.
That's all.
Chair, proposals, read them.
Yes. Honorable National Assembly member, I have learned that when you deal with the National Assembly, whatever you tell them, let it be something that is facts that you're sure of. But if I come and tell you that this is what is coming, and maybe by next week I'll come back and tell you maybe not. So I cannot right now at this moment tell you something concrete, no. But our intention really is to do the same thing, to make sure that you know higher education is taken care of. But as of now, I cannot guarantee anything. But it is our wish to see how we can mobilize resources for them. But as of now, really, I cannot. That's your proposal. No, let me go. Then the issue between 1.7 and 1.5, I have explained that because we were expecting AFDB budget support, but the signs and the indications I have that most likely it might even come at the last quarter of this year or first quarter 2022. And that's why the European Union budget support, I had to take it to balance it, because that one was already factored into the 2021 budget. Otherwise, if we don't do that, I'll have to go and borrow. And really borrowing is something that I don't like to do it, unless and until it's something that is beyond me. But for the time being, since we can manage for the time being, let's see what will happen. But definitely, I cannot guarantee. As at now, that was why we said, this is the 1.5. If authorization is given, that if you have money, you can spend this amount. But I don't want to borrow, really. I don't want to borrow. So the difference between the 1.5 and 1.7, but the 1.5 is actual, that money that is guaranteed. But the difference, this 200 something, I don't know. If it comes, if authorization is given, that you can spend if it comes, but not to borrow. That maybe one can see what one can do. But for the time being, I cannot guarantee, really.
Proposals with you, read the proposals. Mr. Kerr, honorable members, Mr. Kerr.
Honorable members, I want to suggest that we take a vote on this. If members don't want this to stand, then we will go ahead. If we vote no, then it will be a savings, and then we can see where it will be allocated to higher education. Yeah. Because if not, we'll be going round and round and round, and we'll not.
Don't want it to stand. Let them vote no.
Yeah.
Okay. Now put the question. Put the question.
Honorable Chair, I have an alternative. Can I?
Please. Honorable, let's go. We have spent too much on this.
Honorable Chair, may I?
Want it to stand, not to stand. Let them vote no.
Honorable Chair, it is proposed that Ministry of Works and Infrastructure subvention to non-financial public GCCA bailout of 25 million stands part of the estimate. Those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Those not in favor, please say no. No! The noes have it. Yes. So this is a savings. So it's a savings, and then we'll proceed. Then we'll come back to it.
Head 21, Ministry of Health.
It is proposed Head 21, Ministry of Health, vehicles, 134 million, purchase of life support ambulances, to be distributed across all the major health centers. And those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Those not in favor, please say no.
Ayes have it.
The ayes have it. Clerk, let's proceed.
Head 24, Ministry of Information and Communication.
It is proposed that Head 24, Ministry of Information and Communication, subvention to non-financial public, 30 million GRTS coverage for presidential elections. Those in favor, please.
Honorable Chair, since these two budgetary items are still being looked at and they may increase, why don't we leave them and go to the rest and then come back to them?
Chair.
24 and 27 will be suspended and then we'll come back to them after we finish with the Ministry of Works.
Okay, let me move.
Yes, Honorable Banjul Nor.
Honorable Chair, yes, for me, in fact, I was waiting for this. I believe, I don't know what the others would say, that since these are not, Honorable Minister, is it fixed that what we are going to pay for the Minister of Works for areas, what we call areas owed to contractors, if it is not fixed, why don't we take from there to compensate higher education, and then also, we are not forfeiting everything, but at least take a large chunk from them to compensate. That is what I was waiting for. Yes. Okay.
To that Minister, Honorable Minister.
No, these are fixed. They are already issued. And then the threat now is not only because of it has delayed, the indications are that they might start to charge penalty. As of now, they are not charging us penalty. It's fixed. Because these are certificates that are already issued, work already done. So they are fixed. There is nothing we can do. Because otherwise, not only they will charge us penalty, they will take us to court. We are not saying that we are forfeiting the payment. What we are saying is, we are asking them, we are supposed to pay you $10, but we are paying you $8 because of our situation. And then the $2 we will, definitely, I will not encourage that. I will say this is a certificate issued, I will stay with that, definitely.
Just wait until we get there.
Honorable Chair. Honorable Chair.
Honorable Chair.
Let's proceed.
Go ahead.
Can we also delay it? We are not saying we will not pay them, but can we delay it until the next budget? That is 3 months.
Honorable Chair.
Wait until we get there. Wait until we get there. Let's
proceed, please. Honorable Chair. Head 07. No, we're going to development budget. Head 07, Ministry of Defense.
It is proposed that Head 07, Ministry of Defense, military equipment, 59,375,744, peacekeeping equipment, 1.16 million for the Army. Those in favor, please.
Honorable Chair, can I make I have a...
allow him, no.
Those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Those not in favor, please say no.
Normally, the United Nations reimburses these expenditures.
Let's proceed, please.
Honorable Minister to clarify whether that is...
Head 16, Ministry of Lands and Regional Government.
Head 16, Ministry of Lands and Regional Government, vehicles, 12,500,000.
Honorable members, this is our parliament.
Purchase of vehicles for deputy governor.
House, we shouldn't be ignored.
Yes, sir. Please say aye.
Aye.
Those not in favor, please say no.
No. We know what you are saying.
We got a vote.
Those have it.
Division.
I call for division.
Let's vote.
Let's vote.
Let's have it.
Division.
Honorable Chair, we go for
those in favor.
Those in favor for the vehicles. Those in favor, please, for the vehicles, raise your hand. Those in favor.
vehicles.
In favor? Raise your hand. The ayes is 24 and the noes is 16. The ayes have it. Yes. Minister, it is proposed that
now Minister of now you just announced now Minister of Lands and Regional Government will now stand up.
Head 16, Ministry of Lands and Regional Government vehicles now stands part of the estimate.
Okay.
Let's proceed, clerk.
Head 18, Ministry of Transport, Works and Infrastructure.
It is proposed that Head 18, Ministry of Transport, Works and Infrastructure, Roads and Bridges, 176,393,995.23 areas owed to contractor for the construction of Basse Yorbaul and Kalen Boostown Road. Those in favor, please say aye. Aye.
Honorable
in favor, please.
Chair, before the question.
No. Cannot do that. No.
Not the proceeding.
No.
You
have to put the vote. No. Honorable Chair, you have to put the vote. No. Honorable Chair. No. You have to put the vote. Honorable Chair. No. Honorable Chair. No. Stop it. Procedure. No. Can you intervene? No. President.
Honorable Chair, you cannot allow her to intervene in the voting. That is not right.
You have to complete your statement first and then she can come. Kerr. No, you are not for anybody.
We have to listen to
Honorable.
Go ahead.
Can you stop point of order? Can you stop?
I need the minister to make a clarification before the vote. Honorable
Chair.
The issue.
The procedure.
It's an issue. Honorable Chair, the minister needs to tell us whether these are areas in court. In his recent statement, he told us that these are monies that are owed
misleading Parliament.
and we cannot allocate that according to the law.
No.
The minister needs to clarify this.
I said, please stop misleading Parliament. These are incurred areas. He said it over and over again. Are you the minister?
You are not the minister. It's for the minister to explain.
But he did explain that. He explained that. It's not time to do that. Please send your proposal.
Please explain.
Send your proposal.
Let the minister explain.
Honorable Chair, we have already voted for this. There's nothing like doing that. This has been voted already. Sit down. Sit down. This budget has been voted. No, I'm not sitting down. This has been voted. Sit down.
Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Chair. We only pay if the contractor completes his work, the company, and then the consultant will come and evaluate, issue the certificate through the Ministry of Works. Ministry of Works will then send it to us for payment. That's it. It is not something that any expenditure has been made. After approval, then we will make the payment.
Honorable Chair, it's not about the expenditure. The minister is misleading us. I'm not asking whether the expenditure has been made. The question is whether the expenditure has been incurred. And the fact is it has been, and once it is incurred, we do not have the powers to allocate. That is the law.
This is not incurred. You are misleading. Honorable, please stop misleading the Parliament.
You are misleading the Assembly.
You are the one misleading us. Let's stop misleading Parliament, please. Please, this is not misleading. Let's allow the minister to clarify.
Honorable Minister,
for the minister to clarify.
Honorable Minister, can you please explain to this House whether the expenditure was incurred?
No.
The minister is on record that the expenditure was not incurred. That's what is.
Do you have evidence?
So let's proceed. That's the record.
So let's go ahead. Don't entertain any move. Contribution again.
The ministers.
So let's
move. Chair, move. Please help us and move.
It is proposed that Ministry of Transport, Works and Infrastructure, Roads and Bridges, 176,393,995.23 areas owed to contractor for the construction of the Basse Yorobal and the Kalen Bustown Road. Stand part of the estimate. Those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Those not in favor, please say no.
No.
The ayes have it.
Head 18, Ministry of Transport, Works and Infrastructure.
Head 18, Ministry of Transport, Works and Infrastructure, Roads and Bridges, 112,609,755.65 areas owed to contractor for the construction of toll facilities at the Senegambia Bridge. Those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Okay, there are comments there.
No, Chair, you've already raised the question. Make it straight. Don't jeopardize your own process. You've raised the question until you answer. So you cannot entertain any queries again.
Chairman, mine is not a proposal, it's a question.
But I have to help him. I have to help him.
Chairman, mine is not a proposal but a question. Can I be heard? I have a question, please.
Honorable Serekunda, Honorable Member for Serekunda, Honorable, are you proposing that this item be removed and added to higher education?
Yes.
Can you move a motion?
Okay. I move that head 18, item 0637, road bridges. Where is that? No. 18, item 0622, road bridges amounting to 112,609,755.65 be removed and added to head 27, item 2711, that's to education. The reason being, Honorable Chair, the reason being that the Senegambia Bridge is earning resource. The minister needs to tell us how much they have accumulated from that bridge, and that bridge can't take from that money to pay this amount. That's my position.
Chair, yes, Chair. Every motion on the floor, a motion on the floor.
Procedure is the motion to be seconded.
Let's second the motion.
I rise to second the motion.
Yes.
The member asked a question.
Right.
The minister should answer before we take the second.
Chair, as of now, the accountant general is doing the collection, and every booty collected goes to the consular revenue fund. So there is no way that we can pay on a separate account. No, everything goes to the consular revenue fund. So this is something that we owe. So definitely, everything there as of now is the accountant general doing the collection.
Can I ask a question?
How much has been collected?
I'm giving the floor.
Are you convinced? And then we can go ahead with the motion.
No, Honorable Kerr. Honorable Kerr.
Sorry, please put your staff down.
Honorable Chair, whatever is going to be paid to this consolidated fund must be paid to the account of the bridge. Or is the minister saying that there is no account at the central bank for the bridge for the payment of this fund?
No.
It's not the department.
Everything goes to the national. Before there was in transit, but since the accountant general took over, everything goes to the consular revenue fund.
Well, I think we need to really receive a report on this matter. Would the minister ultimately submit a report to the National Assembly on the revenue being collected from the bridge so that we can look at how it is actually being expended?
Chair, you gave me the floor. Yes. Yes, I'm saying this, if you are a regular traveler on this route, the toll has already been done. The road is not completed, but the toll is already done, and it's done very well. So if it's not also something that is incurred means you have paid and now you are asking us to refund you. That's what incurred means. So let's not misexplain incurred. So there is nothing like incurring in this. It is a payment, a commitment that we have to pay them. It's a contract, we have to pay them. And they have done their work.
Chair, can you move the motion now? Let's vote on this.
Second to the motion raised by the honorable member for Serekunda.
No. Yes. Seconded.
He has withdrawn your vote. Honorable Serekunda.
Yeah, I think there is some complication introduced from the information given to us by the minister. And if that is the case, then I would decide to withdraw, but at the same time we focus on getting information regarding the bridge and the earnings of the bridge. And I would urge that we focus on the issue of pre-financing, because there is a thin line. We cannot, of course, stop the payment, but as of now, before there is any pre-financing, asking people to do work and then pay, the person who is going to pay must be consulted. We must come to that level of consideration from my own point of view, but that's out of the point. I will withdraw and then proceed.
Move motion.
Honorable Chair, just clarification, please. I need some clarification from the minister. Yes, the minister has mentioned, informed us that the toll fees, that is collected from the bridge, is paid straight into the CRF. I'm looking at the budget, and I cannot see any budget revenue line that reflects that. So we need the minister to inform us where is that fund, the budgeted estimates of that revenue coming into the CRF.
Can you just allow for the report to be submitted, then you will see all of that. No, he's saying he didn't see it. So what I'm saying is, let's wait for... No, the report will reflect that. As of now, it should be there. It should be there. Definitely it should be there. But the report will be firm evidence that it's there.
Yes, let's vote.
Yes. Thank you very much, Chairman. Yes, I just want to connect the answer of the minister right now to the answer provided for my question to the Honorable Minister of Works and Infrastructure relating to the proceeds of that bridge. What the information that was given to us that day, completely different from what the minister is telling us right now. What he told me was there was a joint account that was open. The money was not going to the consolidated fund. According to the reply of the minister, if members can remember. I think we have to respect one another. This is to make clarity on things, so that there will be no ambiguity. Let us reconcile these two answers and see what is the actual. And this was our first ordinary session here.
Honorable Chair, can we wait for the report and while we proceed and make vote, please, and proceed, please.
We need to clear it out.
We have one amendment here. Woodley West is proposing that we take 50 million from the sum and add it to the allocation of UTG. That's the proposal from the.
Leave it as it is, please.
Hence is fixed.
Yes.
Willing is what is your proposal there?
No, I'm saying the minister has already explained that these are fixed. So we should not take anything out from them. Let's just pay it to them.
And those who are against it, let them vote no.
Okay, I'm going to put in the question. Those who are against it, then you can say no. It is proposed that Ministry of Transport, Works and Infrastructure, head 18, roads and bridges, 112,609,775.65 stands part of the estimate. Those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Those not in favor, please say no. No. The ayes have it. Let's proceed.
Head 18, Ministry of Transport, Works and Infrastructure, land compensation.
Yes. Proposal from Councillor, the one here.
Okay. Where is it, sir?
Councillor.
Yeah, that's we receive an amendment.
We receive an amendment from Councillor, Head 18, land compensation. He is proposing that 50 million be deducted and added to the Ministry of Higher Education, Research, Science and Technology. That's what he is proposing for the land compensation.
You want to say something?
Do you have something to say to that?
Yeah, you know, Honorable Chair, I am making this proposal simply because looking at the land compensation, it's a process. Like, it's not going to happen at once. And then if we are able to secure this 50 million and add it to the savings that we have done so far, Ministry of Higher Education, the issue of debt burden as per the university will be history. So the 50 million can come part of the 2022 budget, where the additional sums to the 50 million can be captured. Just want to see a way out of how we do away with the higher education ministry once and for all.
Yeah, I support the
Any seconder to the amendment?
Yes, I support it.
Okay, it is proposed that Head 18 land compensation be amended to deduct 50 million and added to Ministry Ministry of Higher Education.
Honorable Chair, before you put the vote, can I just observe the question?
Minister to explain.
Can we observe, please?
Ask the minister.
Honorable Minister.
I have no objection to that proposal.
It is proposed that Head 18, land compensation, be amended to reduce 50 million and added to Ministry of Higher Education, Research, Science and Technology. Those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Those not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it. Clerk.
Head 18, Ministry of Transport, Works and Infrastructure, Roads and Bridges.
Head 18, Ministry of Works, Transport and Infrastructure, Roads and Bridges.
The sum
of 212,181,287.02. Areas owed to contractor on Banjul Rehabilitation Project. Any proposals? Yes. Tell us that it is not in conformity what is in the statement of the minister. So if the minister can amend so that it can cover whether what is in the statement is the one that is correct or whether that is what is on the table here is the correct version.
Yeah, what is here is the correct version. What is on the table here?
I need some clarifications again, please. Can the Honorable Minister clarify to us? We read not the agreement for the Banjul Rehabilitation Project, and of December 2020, we have approved a budget for the Ministry of Works incorporating on the payment for Banjul for this year. So I want to know where this areas is from, because as far as we're concerned, we've made 2 payments so far now for the Banjul Rehabilitation Project now through an SAP and also through budgetary allocations. So where is this areas coming from?
You want to react to that?
Yeah, the amount appropriated and the speed of work, the amount appropriated was insufficient. That's why these are certificates that are already issued by the Ministry of Works. That is why we have it here.
Thank you. Thank you for that clarification. However, can the minister now furnish us now with these certificates now to ensure that what we're doing here now is legal now?
Oh yes.
All right. Thank you.
Latest Friday you'll get it.
It is proposed that Ministry of Transport, Works and Infrastructure, Head 18, Roads and Bridges, the sum of 212,181,287.02 areas owed to contractor on Banjul Rehabilitation Project. Those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those not in favor, please say no.
No.
The ayes have it. Let's proceed.
And the last one, Revenue, Head 29, Ministry of Petroleum and Energy, yes.
Shouldn't we go back to
we suspended. Sorry.
We go to 24 and 27.
Honorable Mbo, have you done the calculation?
The savings, the chair has done the savings. He will announce the savings. Yeah. So, no, we have 85. The higher education.
So yes, so we had, so that 15 is not part of
no. Okay, yeah.
The first 15 is already added to higher education. Now the next two we have is the 25 million and 50 million.
No, in fact, because we haven't dealt with higher education.
Also have the...
No, in fact, read this. No, let the chair guide it. Can you guide the saving now? 15 was deducted.
Huh? No, the savings.
Hello. Honorable members. Hello, one meeting please.
Basse.
Honorable Basse, these are the savings that we made. 15 million from O3, 25 million from Head 18, and 50 million from 18 land compensation. So that gave us a total of 85 million.
So there was an early decision that the 15...
90 million, not 85 million.
90 million.
Yes.
But there was an early decision that the 15 will be given to higher education. So let's go to it now.
And the 50 and 15, eh?
Yes, yes.
Okay. I think the first saving that was made was 15 million.
That's what I'm saying. 15 plus 50.
15 plus 50 and 25.
And 25, 90. 90 million.
Okay, 90 million.
Yeah? You got the record now? Yeah, okay. So let's go to head 24.
But head 20, I think we are making an error here.
Yeah.
You know, when the motion was moved, it was to move to cut 15 million and add it to, no, it's already allocated. So the only two we don't have allocated is 25 million and 50 million. So those are the only two, 75 million. We didn't allocate yet. No, which means those are the two we're going to decide for GRTS and higher education.
No, even 50 million have been allocated. No, Honorable Chair. More. Honorable Chair.
No, go do the calculation. Subtract this total sum, and what is left goes to information and technology.
Then now the remaining will be 25. Yeah.
Honorable members, we have agreed that 15 million and the 50 be added to higher education. So now we have to decide on the 25 million.
Yes.
Yes.
Can I propose, Honorable Chair?
Please, we have not called any head yet. So,
Head 24, Ministry of Information and Communication.
Head 24, Ministry of Information and Communication, subvention to non-financial public institutions, 30 million, GRTS coverage of presidential elections.
It seems, Honorable Chair, some amount is going to be left. Allow the observation.
Yes, Honorable.
Observation.
Yes.
What you have quoted, if you add it to what is required for UTG, is still insufficient. The total is 134 million. 134 million is what is required to pay the whole loan, the whole areas in UTG.
Honorable Chair, we have 140 now.
So now we have 125.
Honorable Chair.
Let the minister speak.
No, you have 140 now.
125 million
should go to.
Can I clarify this? The total areas to UTG is 154 million. The Ministry of Finance has already given us 20 million. That leaves a deficit of 134. If the 15 is given to us, plus the 50 that is part of the appropriation, and the 25 and the 50 that has been suggested by the member for Woolly West.
Councillor,
the member for Councillor, it would mean that we are in excess of 6 million. So you have to deduct 6 million. Instead of now 50 million, it should be 44 million to you, and then we will exactly have 154. That would be exact. So instead of 50, give us 44 million. And then whatever the 6 million we want to do with it, then that is it. So that clears the areas for UTG. Okay. And I hope that this House would underwrite no deduction from our 2022 budget. I know him very well. What he loses in the swings, he will like to gain it in the roundabouts, and I'm not going to allow it. Yes, Honorable Chair.
You see, Honorable Chair, please, I think we should also consider GRTS. We cannot allocate everything to the Ministry of Higher Education. They are giving almost 75,000. Why not we give the 25,000 to GRTS? No. GRTS is not in arrears. Yeah, that is not in arrears.
Honorable Chair. Yeah. Can you accept me? Just motion. Yes. Motion. Honorable, yes. Motion. Okay. Honorable Chair, I am moving a motion that out of the savings, 69 million be added to 27, head 27, higher education, 60, and the remaining 6 million be added to head 24, Ministry of Information.
I second the motion. Chair, it's seconded. Chair, it's seconded. Chairman, there's a motion on the floor. We need to be seconded.
Honorable, write it down. Your mathematics is less than by 10 million. It should be 84.
Write it down and give it to them.
It's 84 million out of the 90.
Chair, I want to second the motion. There's a motion on the floor.
Chairman.
From the teacher.
Yeah, but in the meantime, Chairman, in the meantime, you see already 50 million was there and 90 is saved. If you add 90 to 50, it's 140. That's an excess of 6.
Chairman, before you make any vote, I just want to make one thing clear. The Gambia is going into an election, and this is a democratic right for all political parties to have equal access, and you have an institution that does not even have cameras. I hope that the budget that we have asked for, if you have not given, you people will not go out again to the national, to the radios to complain that you have no access to GRTS, because they have no capacity to provide coverage to all the political parties. And we are making that very clear. That budget is not there, the equipment is not there, and the resources are not there. And that is why we came here.
Honorable Chairman.
We are giving you
Honorable Chairman. Honorable Chairman. Honorable Chair. Honorable Chair. Honorable Chair. Honorable Chair. Honorable Chair. No, it's here. It's here. Tumana. I'm here. I think let's try to solve the issue of university once and for all. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, because yes.
Honorable Chair. Honorable Chair. Is here. General Central. Thank you very much, Honorable Chair. Honorable Chair. Honorable Chair, are you getting me?
All the savings is 90.
Yeah, thank you very much, Honorable Chair. What I'm saying is, what the Honorable Minister for Information have just said, we ought to be very, very much careful about that. Most of us here talk about GRTS, their inefficiency. And now we want to leave them with just that $30 million.
But that is what they requested. That is what is in the... Chairman.
Read your motion, please.
Magasu, read your motion.
Yeah, read it from there.
Chairman, for clarification, we never requested $30 million. We requested 98 million and our request was reduced to 30.
Yeah, that's what we have.
And that is why we gave you a breakdown. No, hold on. That is why we gave you a breakdown of all what we have requested. All the National Assembly members have got this and we gave it to you since yesterday. Even the day we had bilateral, we gave it to you. And the reason why we did that was for everybody to be sure that this institution needed support. And if it is not given, there is no way that the traditional coverage and live coverages that are supposed to be given could be given. Because even in the document there you would see live streaming equipment.
No. So if it is not given, we cannot provide that.
Honorable Magasi. Let's deal with the proposal. Honorable Minister.
Chair, can I make
Honorable Chair, go with your.
I move that. Honorable Chair, I move that from the saving 90 million, that 84 million be allocated to Head 27, Ministry of Higher Education, and the 6 million be allocated to Head 24, Ministry of Information.
Counter motion. Seconded. Any seconded. Councillor, it's been moved and seconded that savings of 90 million, 84 be given to higher education and 6 million to GRTS. Information, Ministry of Information. Those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Those not in favor, please say no. No. The ayes have it.
Honorable Chair, can I make a comment? Honorable Chair.
Revenue proposal before you go to the revenue, please. Before revenue.
Honorable Chair, can I?
Head.
Thank you very much.
Revenue.
Revenue. I think it's good that we clear the area.
Revenue. Revenue.
Okay. Can I have a comment?
Okay.
Honorable
Revenue, please.
Go back. With your permission. Can we go back to look at the other allocations?
Please, let's go.
Because, Honorable Chair, I have a right. This is my house. I was elected to come and represent my people. Honorable Chair, can we go back? Because we all know we are in elections.
Revenue.
We have already voted. We passed that.
Revenue. Chair, revenue procedure. What's the procedure?
We are in elections here. And everybody comes
to procedure. Revenue.
Proceed. We need to equip DRTS, Honorable Chair. Honorable Chair, we are paying arrears that are not necessary. GRTS is very important.
Revenue.
In elections here,
Ministry of Petroleum and Energy.
Just last proposal before revenue.
GRTS.
Honorable Chair, yes, I understand that there was this, we were expecting budgetary support from the EU. The minister has to inform this August Assembly what is the status of that expectation. If it is coming, why can't we get something from there for GRTS?
He has already said that. No, that one is not coming. That one is not coming.
Honorable Chair, honorable members, and this is
Honorable Chair, if we look at the standing orders, I have read it before. It says an amendment to increase the sums allotted to the estimates overall may only be moved by the Vice President or the Minister. So it means that the mover can increase overall. So wouldn't the Minister undertake to do that, and that be put as part of a contingency fund, so that would be included, and he strives to get the sums that he envisages from these sources he has mentioned, EU, whatever, and we ensure that GRTS gets the fund, the 90 million, that is the extra 60 million plus that it is requesting. Would the Minister undertake to do that?
That one.
That is a tough one. You mean let me undertake for the deficit for GRTS?
It says here is that you can propose for us to amend what we now have, the estimates, and add in a contingency fund. You can do that.
No. I would advise against that.
I think, Honorable Chair, that is very important because we are sitting here right now and GRTS is not even covering us and everybody complains. I think the Honorable Minister should reconsider and increase it.
Honorable Chair, issue of certainty has been discussed.
Honorable Kerr,
I think my undertaking is based on not borrowing, but only if I have the revenue to spend. I don't mind. I don't mind. If you authorize me,
no, we can authorize you.
Honorable Kerr, Honorable Chair.
The provision says, Honorable Minister, that you can make an amendment to increase the total sum. We cannot instruct you. It is you proposing that, and then when you make the amendment, we'll take it, and if we approve it, this stands part of the estimate.
Honorable Chair, I have a second. Honorable Chair, I think the law is very clear that the minister should propose. And I think the honorable member is proposing for the minister to make a proposal. That is what's happening. I think if the minister has told us in no uncertain terms, this is the money he's actually expecting. He is not sure whether other monies are come, and it will be dangerous for us to increase what you have already proposed to us on uncertainties. I think GRTS, regardless of this money, was not expected. Now they have 36 million that they didn't expect from anywhere. Their duty is what they have, they should divide it fairly among all political parties. We cannot meet their needs right now, but what you have the responsibility to distribute it fairly. That is what we can right now.
But if the minister, if the minister is in position to propose 20 million or 30 million, so be it. So it's not there to speak for the minister. Let the minister propose if you can allocate extra 30 million.
I don't think the honorable for this for the honorable minister. Honorable Chair.
Honorable Chair.
It is very necessary for us to bail out GRTS. We should bail them out. You always complain. When they don't come to cover our events, you complain.
Let's listen to the honorable minister what he can offer.
Order.
We are the final verdict. You know, the training I have is revenue is recognized when earned. So it will be very difficult, really, to, when I have it, I come back to you.
Honorable Chair. Honorable Chair.
I don't want a situation where...
Honorable Chair, are you aware, sit down, that the equipment GRTS is using was commissioned 15 years ago and it's not good enough to cover this election? 15.
Honorable member for Budget South. Revenue, revenue. Head 29, Ministry of Petroleum and Energy. Jimara.
That was not... Yeah, can you look at us here, please? Chairman, please.
Non-tax revenue.
We have a suggestion.
500 million.
We have a suggestion for GRTS, please.
Penalty charges by BP for withdrawing licenses.
Order, please.
Let him listen to us. Forms part of the bill. Those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those not in favor, please say no.
No.
The ayes have it.
Honorable Chair, respect the MPs in this August
I think the Honorable Minister should not allow GRTS to cover even government programs, especially NPP programs, please. Or else we, the opposition, will make
That's your wish. That's your wish. Honorable member, you withdraw that statement. There is honorable meeting there. You withdraw that statement. The information minister from withdraw that statement. Withdraw your statement. Let me tell you, GRTS belongs to the government and MPP is government, so we're going to call only MPP. Withdraw your statement. Withdraw that.
MPP is not government. Withdraw that. MPP is not government.
You must withdraw that statement.
Withdraw that.
Withdraw it. Independent candidates say about
we government in waiting. Alaiso. Jimara.
Only NPP programs. House resumed.
third reading.
Wow. No, the first reading is
Honorable Clerk.
Thank you.
Proceed, please.
Short title of the estimates. The supplementary estimates of revenue and expenditure for the year 2021 by the Honorable Minister for Finance and Economic Affairs.
Thank you very much. Honorable Speaker, I hereby report to this August Assembly that the supplementary estimates 2021 having gone through the Committee of the Whole Assembly with amendments be approved.
It has been reported that these supplementary estimates 2021 having gone through the Committee of the Whole Assembly with amendments be approved. Those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Those not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it. We will now move to the final stage of the process, requiring the Honorable Minister to introduce the Supplementary Appropriation Bill reflecting the sums approved in the supplementary estimates. This formality is in accordance with Section 1532 of the Constitution and the Standing Order 892. I now invite the Honorable Minister for Finance and Economic Affairs to hand a copy of the Supplementary Appropriation Bill 2021 to the clerk to read the subtitle, where thereupon the bill shall be deemed to have been read the first time. Therefore, we will proceed to the next stages accordingly. Honorable Clerk.
Thank you. Supplementary Appropriation Bill 2021 is hereby deemed to have been read the first time.
Honorable members, in accordance with Standing Order 65, the Supplementary Appropriation Bill 2020 is completed. Therefore, in accordance with Standing Orders 66 and 77, we will proceed to the second reading of the bill. Forthwith, Clerk, you may proceed.
Thank you. Second reading of the Supplementary Appropriation Bill 2021 by the Honorable Minister for Finance and Economic Affairs.
Minister.
Thank you very much. Honorable Speaker, I move that the bill entitled the Supplementary Appropriation Bill 2021 be read a second time, which is $1.5 billion Gambian dollars.
The Supplementary Appropriation Bill 2021 by the Honorable Minister for Finance and Economic Affairs is hereby deemed to have been read a second time.
The motion for the second. No, that's it. Now, any seconder?
Any seconder?
No, Clerk,
Clerk.
you have jump the process. Let us a second for that motion.
No, the clerk should.
Can we have a seconder for the second reading? Honorable member for Bintang.
I ask the second motion.
Honorable members, it has been moved and seconded that the bill entitled the Supplementary Appropriation Bill 2020 be read a second time. Those in favor, please say aye.
And pass.
Yes,
Yeah,
go ahead.
Those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it. Clerk, read the subtitle, please.
Supplementary Appropriation Bill 2021.
Thank you. In accordance with Standing Order 89-2, I invite the Honorable Minister to report on what had transpired at the consideration stage and move a motion for the third reading accordingly.
Thank you very much. Honorable Speaker, I report that the bill entitled Supplementary Appropriation Bill 2021, reflecting the supplementary estimates 2021 as approved with amendments, be read a second time and pass. A third time and pass.
Any seconder? Honorable Bondali.
Thank you very much. I rise to second the motion.
It has been reported that the bill entitled the Supplementary Appropriation Bill 2020, reflecting the supplementary estimates 2021, as approved with amendments, be read a third time and pass. Those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Those not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it. Clerk, you may read the title of the bill to signify its passage. Clerk.
Thank you. The Supplementary Appropriation Bill 2021 is hereby deemed to have been read a third time and passed.
On that note, I want to put the question. Be it resolved that this August Assembly do stand adjourned, sign a die. Those in favor, please say aye. Those not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it. Honorable members, I want to thank all of you for your commitment and also the work that we had done. So the bill is now passed. The House is now adjourned, sign a die.